So there's been some recent updates, for broad targeting and like dynamic creatives, basically the way we structure and kind of scale our ad accounts. And there's been some updates a lot with like the post ID and like moving that over with dynamic creatives. Should you move it over? Should you not? So I really haven't had a reason to make a video on this, but just because it's so straightforward, hey, I don't move the post ID anymore. That's it. If you want to skip the rest of this video, cool, there's your answer. But I'll go over it too real quick just to make sure everyone understands. Just kind of jumping in an ad account real quick. You can see right here, it's last 7 days for one of our accounts. It's been about $33,000 on this particular account right here. And then if we go into this, all we do is simply test new ad sets with dynamic creative turned on, broad targeting, creatives, all those good things right there. And you'll notice, like 1010, 106, 122, 104, 118, like these are all individual ad sets with dynamic creative turned on, broad targeting, all that good stuff. We still have a main ad set because some accounts, as we've made this transition, already had a main ad set, and that main ad set's still performing well. So we just simply haven't turned it off, right? We're just not adding anything else to the main ad set. So it's like, hey, it's still performing well. We don't have a reason to turn it off yet, so let's just leave it rolling. Also, to context for this particular account, this is a supplement brand, and we're scaling at break even for new customer acquisition. We're still very profitable overall. So before I get the people that are asking, oh, why is the ROAS so low? Typically, that's how we scale for supplement brands right there. Now, next thing, as mentioned, we're doing broad targeting. We typically do exclude a 30-day purchase audience. I don't know why this account just doesn't have it set up correctly, but yeah, we do exclude 30-day purchases, one country per campaign. Yeah, all that good stuff. Dynamic creative turned on, and then we're uploading either 3 videos or 3 photos per DC dynamic creative test, which is just a dynamic ad set, and we're testing creatives in that ad set. We're doing 3 creatives, 3 videos, 3 photos, and we're only testing one variable difference. Typically for videos, the first 3 seconds, I change that as the visual hook. If it's photos, then I'll try to change the visual background. And then we're doing 1 new body copy, 1 existing winning body copy, 1 existing winning headline, and 1 new headline in there as well. Now, kind of going back to this structure, you can see right here, here's the last 7 days. We have, I don't know what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ad sets live in this. One being like a really strong winner for us, which is 110. It's a winner because it's taking majority of spin and it's allowing us to hit our business goals overall. And then we have about 2 or 3 kind of below that. Our main ad set, again, we just don't have a reason to turn it off because it's still performing well. We're just not adding anything new to it. And then we have 106, which is just another winning ad set in here as well. Yeah, so, I don't know. I think how much we tested on this. I want to say we tested about 5 to 6 ad sets over the last week on this. Keep in mind, we're also spending about $5K a day. Typically, the more we spend, like once we start getting above like $1,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 a day, I'm willing to test a little bit more than 4 Ds per week. If I'm under $1,000 a day, then I'm launching 2 to 4 DCTs at once. If I'm at $100 a day, I'm launching 2 DCTs at once. If I'm under 1,000 but above 100, I'll do like 4 at a time. And then if I'm at a couple $1,000s a day, I'm willing to spend, drop 4 to 5 DCTs at once, or even up to 6 or 7, depending on how much we're spending. And basically, within the first 24 to 48 hours, if we have a DCT that gets majority of spin and just overall performance just tanks really bad, I'll turn it off. I know I've been getting a lot of questions about people who are basically saying like, hey, Nick, like, do you have to leave the DCT on if it's performing really badly for full 3 days? It's like, no, not at all. Just at least leave it on for at least 24 hours. Again, if it's performing really badly, it's taking majority of spin and just it's taking overall business performance. That's the only scenario I do that. Now, if after 3 days, there's little to no spin at all, then I just turn it off. I mean, there's just no point of running it for longer. And if after 3 days, it has like every day, like within those first 3 days, every day it's just been getting a little bit more and more spin every day, then I'll leave it on and more up to that day 7. And that day 7, if it's still not majority of spin and there's no impact on the business at all, due to like performance, making it like dropping overall CPA to where we can spin more or something like that, then I'll just turn it off. And then lastly, if after 7 days, still not a significant winner, turn off. So that's all we're doing. A lot of questions. How many DCTs live at once? I don't really care. I don't really keep track of this, to be fair. If I already have like 3 or 4 winners that are performing really well and we're scaling and everything like that, I'm okay with going to launch 2 to 4 at once. there's a big difference between launching like 5 to 10 DCTs at once versus having 5 to 10 DCTs live. If we have 7 DCTs live that are crushing it and doing well, I don't have a problem at all with going to launch 3 or 4 more, you know, because it doesn't really put a lot of strain on the system. It's when you go launch like 10 DCTs at once and you're spending $100 a day. That's a great way to fuck things up. You know, it's about 12 ad combos per DCT. That's about 120 ads technically you're launching at once. So I try to stay away from that right there. But as far as how many DCTs are live at once, it just kind of depends on the scenario. I've already been having some winners and stuff like that. I don't really include the winners at all when I say I'm launching 2 or 4 new DCTs. I don't really look at, hey, what I've currently live. I just go launch. Keep it simple. Next thing is, do you turn off old winners? And yeah. Long story short, yes, I do. You know, like let's say for example, like 118, 114, 120. Let's just say hypothetically speaking, those were like top spending DCTs, just crushing it. And then they just got pushed down because we found new winning DCTs and they just, you know, they no longer beat the current ones now. Then yeah, I'll turn those off right there. But you know, like if like 110, for example, I would never turn that one off because it's doing really well for the business, right? Unless 110 got pushed all the way down, you know, down here, I would say below like 104 below, because we found new winning DCTs and it pushed those lower, then yeah, sure, I'll turn those off right there if they're no longer impacting the business positively. You know, I don't have a problem at all with that. Now, another question too, why did I stop moving the post IDs over? A couple different reasons why. Number one, we would find a winning DCT like 110, for example, would pull the post ID, we'll move it to the main ad set, and guess what? Facebook's like, hey, I have no reason to go spin in the main ad set, right? Like Facebook doesn't sit there and know this strategy, right? Facebook's not programmed to be like, oh, well, here's a main ad set. I need to go put in the main ad set. I need to go spend more on this. Facebook doesn't give 2 fucks about that at all, right? Facebook just sees, hey, 110's crushing it. It's spending really well. We're going to keep deploying ad spin right there because there's no reason why we should go and spin on the exact same ad in another ad set. So, you know, Facebook wouldn't always spin when we move it over. So then guess what? I have 2 options, right? I can turn off something that's making my business a lot of money so that way I could follow the strategy and, you know, and just start burning a bunch of money, right? Or I could leave it on because it's helping the business. The business is performing well. The ad account's performing well. Why would I turn off a winning ad set that's just crushing it? So, you know, we kept running into that scenario, and guess what? We would always just leave the DCT on. So that became a problem right there, right? Because, hey, you know, if we have an ad set that's crushing it, it's doing really well and everything like that, and, you know, I don't want to turn it off just to quote unquote follow a strategy, right? You know, it's making us money, and that's all I care about. So that was one thing. Second thing was sometimes we would move it over into the main ad set and it would just never ever take off. You know, we would turn off 110 and then it would go in the main ad set and just, it would never get spent. And just, all right, cool. Well, there's 2 things now we're doing just mess up performance. Now, you know, for us, it's like, hey, the main ad set is full of winning ads. Well, what about if we just have one campaign and basically like the ad set level is almost like the ad level for a dynamic creative testing campaign because, you know, it's all dynamic creative. So you can only have one dynamic creative or like a type of ad in an ad set. So for me, it just makes basically the ad set level is like the main ad set level in a way. That's another way I kind of looked at it from that perspective right there. The only good thing about having the main ad set though is, you know, you basically have an ad set full of winning ads. So if you have any issues at all with like, I don't know, maybe performance dropping or something like that, you have an ad set full of winners. So it keeps things organized. That is one good thing about it. But if you keep like a good Google Sheet or something like that that compiles all of your winning ads in there and like your winning DCTs, it's pretty quickly just to turn to that Google Sheet. Here's my winning DCTs. And, you know, I can review those fairly quickly from there. But yeah, I mean, long story short, that's what we've been doing. You know, again, wasn't a super like sexy video on this. Oh, wait. And also I forgot to mention to you guys, Facebook also did an update beginning of this year. I don't really think it was intentional at all. I want to say it was kind of just like a bug or something like that, where it makes it extremely hard now to pull a post ID from a dynamic creative. That's also another reason why we stopped doing this, why we're just letting it roll now with dynamic creative tests winning and stuff like that. You know, yeah, just let it do. Oh, and then also another question I get a lot from you guys is, oh, well, Nick, well, how do you remove the losing creatives? To be fair, I don't worry about that. I do not worry about that at all. I know if a DCT is a winner by simply just looking at the ad set level, like 110 right here, took overall spin, CPA, $36. That's perfect for this particular business based off this business's goals. So guess what? I do not care what creative got more spin, what creative didn't perform as well. I just let it roll. I just let it do its thing, right? I don't look at breakdown and look at individual performance. I do that sometimes to understand what creative won so we can improve on it or like create new creatives around that winner in the creative process. But from a media buying perspective, I don't give a fuck. I just let it run. Got most spin? Cool. Let's move on to the next thing. That's it. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions around this, just drop it below. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you want me to run your Facebook ads, click the link below. We help brands scale from 6 figures a month to 7 figures per month. We've helped 4 brands now. Love to help you become the next one. If you want me to mentor you, click the link below, have Nick Theriot mentor you. And then lastly, if you want an intermediate to advanced Facebook ads course, click the link below for Nick's Facebook ads course. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all take care. Peace out.